Hey, everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Diamond Discussion. I am your host, Demetrius Woods, and this is episode number 75. I gotta be honest with you, this one matters because, listen, by now, you either know exactly who you are or you're still out there pretending. And we're gonna talk about that in regards to some of these college softball programs as we head deeper into conference play. So, with that being said, let's get it started. All right, everybody, welcome once again to another episode of this show. I owe it all to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I know I say that probably every third or fourth episode, but I really, really mean it. And I'm so excited that you're back with me. It's April. All right, it's April. Man, lots of updates since our last show that I got to go over with you. First of all, I am coaching my daughter's 6U softball team. Next week, I'll probably come in here and rep the 6U Thunder. So shout out to my daughter Aubrey and her little rec ball team. Man, they're having a blast. Everybody's having fun, and I get a chance to coach them, and they're learning the fundamentals of the game. And so I get a chance just to kind of be a proud dad on the field. So it's a pretty dope perk, in my opinion. What else, man? We got baseball season is in full swing. College baseball, more on that next episode. Major League Baseball is there. My Red Sox are currently probably the worst team in the league, but I know that won't last long, prayerfully. Okay, we'll hope for the best on that front. But my family and I, we did take a road trip last week out to Kansas City to catch the Royals, and then we shot up 35 northbound, I think it was, to head up to Minneapolis, and we saw Byron Buxton and the Minnesota Twins home opener. Every bit of 28 degrees, I think, outside. So the first two innings, we braved the Minneapolis winter weather. Spring, honestly, but it's still winter up there. And then we found this beautiful. If you're ever in Minneapolis, by the way, I'll tell you this: they're behind home plate on the 200 section level there. There's ample amount of indoor space with heaters if you ever need it at this point in the season. So for those of you, maybe I'm dishing out too many secrets, Twins fans. I apologize if I'm talking too much about that, but I thought it was a great perk. And for the rest of the game, we were nice and warm, and we were cozy, and great views right behind the plate. So anyway, guys, Bethany and I, we have only two more teams left to go visit, and that is formerly the Oakland A's, currently playing in Sacramento, soon to be in Vegas, and then our last stadium will be the Seattle Mariners out in Washington, and we'll catch both of those ball clubs here next month in early May. So anyway, just some life updates surrounding softball and baseball. But speaking of softball, okay, let's get into this thing, man. And I want to talk about a couple of teams here and there. I'm not going to ramble on too much today with you guys. We got a couple more episodes coming up later this month where we're really going to dig deep into a little bit of college softball. But I wanted to reserve today just for a little bit of a snippet and then take some time to really give you guys some advice on owning the box, man. I've seen so much around that this season thus far with batters just looking uncomfortable, feeling uncomfortable, pitchers really kind of having their way with batters at the plate. So I want to talk about that a little bit after this college softball snippet here. But start with the what I call the stampede. Okay, I'm starting with those proven contenders right now, and believe it or not, I'm going with the three old faithful teams. That's your Oklahoma Sooners, your UCLA Bruins, and your Florida State Seminoles. Right now, in my opinion, though they are not the top three teams in the nation, they are three teams that you are going to have to worry about come postseason play. No doubt about it. They're all going to be able to host their own regional. They'll all, Florida State, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. They should be hosting a Supers, though, depending on how, the ACC tournament goes for them as well in Florida State. These three programs, man, they are proven right now. They are absolutely three of the most consistent programs out there. Yes, they've all got hype, but they're leaning on their consistent action. They have pitching staffs Okay, now I say that OU's staff is right there. Okay, and they're strong, and so is UCLA's. Florida State, I'm not certain to a T about, but they're all good enough staffs to get you through a 3-game series. And right now, that is the focal point with all of these ball clubs, right? Everybody in the top 25 is they're all jostling for positions. Okay, some may fall out. There may be a couple that come in, but who is going to get a chance to host a regional? And you got to look out for these 3 programs, man. You know, 2 of them, UCLA and Florida State, they have done a heck of an impeccable job, in my opinion, of relying on some situational hitting type scenarios, and so has OU. But my gosh, they just broke the record earlier this season. What, 32, 33 games, 34 games in, they hit 100 home runs, right? I could be wrong about that. They may have been 20 something. But anyway, they're leading the nation in home runs by a long shot. Okay, so they're doing it with the deep ball. UCLA, Florida State, they're both hitting deep ball as well, but not at the clip that OU is right now. OU's back. Let's be honest about that. They are back. Ella Parker and those girls, man, they are doing damage out there, and it's a problem, no doubt about it, for everybody else in the league. Okay, you knew the Sooners were not going to be like this. You know, they were going to be right there. Okay, so and honestly, right now they look like the UConn women's basketball team or the South Carolina women's basketball team. I mean, they're consistently in that conversation of the Final Four. You know, shout out, man, to just both of those programs. And what they were able to accomplish as I kind of get into the women's college basketball sector right now. But man, shout out to UCLA, right? Lauren Betts and the crew, man, with NCAA March Madness. That was awesome. Michigan uh, coming after Arizona, man, in the Final Four, and they ended up beating UConn there in the national championship too, man. So shout out to UCLA, shout out to Big Blue Michigan Wolverines as well, on the basketball side of things, and those 2 programs on the softball side, they're both right there. They can certainly make a splash. UCLA certainly more so than Michigan right now, man. But at the end of the day, man, real teams out there, the real teams right now, they don't need any kind of momentum to get them going, right? They create that, right? They create that on their own. And so this next tier team is kind of my bubble group, all right? They're on the watch. They're talented, but I got question marks for them. And the 3 teams I want to talk about real quick: Tennessee, Oregon, and Florida. All right. Florida to me is always right there, but do they have enough? We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Do they have enough come postseason time of the year? They win big games in conference play. They have proven that they can do that, right? That staff down there in Gainesville, they consistently do it. Same thing out in Eugene, man. In Oregon, they're doing the same exact thing. All right, Oregon, Florida, West Coast, East Coast, like they look the same to me. Okay. It's Tennessee though. They're the true on the watch team because they're a a statement series win away again from being able to say we are back, we are here. And it's to me it's going to boil down to some of these final conference tournament, not conference tournament, but conference regular season conference series that they're going to have coming up here leading into the conference tournament. So I want to see what they look like on that front. The last category I've got is your fool's gold category. All right. And I'm not going to hurt any feelings. This is episode number 75. I'm in a good mood and I'm not gonna hurt any feelings today. So I'm not going to mention the teams that I think are fool's gold. And when I think about the fool's gold team, guys, I'm going the team that is, you know, they're elite, no doubt. Okay, these are top 25 programs that I'm referencing still. Okay, they are definitely elite teams, but do they show up when other elite teams come to town or when they head out to town to go face some of those elite programs? Are they showing up on a consistent basis or are they just pretending? All right. So who are those teams out there for you right now that, are they actually in the hunt or are they truly just kind of being pretenders? So I'm going to ask you guys, who are those pretenders out there right now in the college softball world for you. I've got a couple of answers, but I'm not going to share just yet. Okay. Listen, guys, on the other side of this break, as I promised, we're going to talk about what it looks like to own the box. And for those of you who are coaches who maybe need some extra tools in your tool belt, some more ammunition rather to be able to share with your your teams, or if you're a player, or parent, whatever, watching right now, and you kind of need some pick me ups. I got you right on the side of this break. So give me just a sec, and I'll be right back. Okay, good people. Welcome back to the show. As promised, we're going to talk about owning the box and what that looks like. Okay. I'm having to come down from this college softball high of excitement, man, I have, because I just want to give you guys so much more on that, but I promise we'll save that for a later date this month as we approach the end of conference play, as I mentioned before. But owning the box, and here's why I wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit today. Just I'm watching, man, some major league players. We've got the ABS system that's back now, or excuse me, that's not back, but here for the first time at the major league level. It's been at the minor league level the last couple of seasons, and it has really worked, in my opinion, very well at the pro level, all right, and in the MLB there. And so, what I'm gonna say about that, okay, is that though the ABS does exist, I see some batters, man, they get up there and they look like they're guessing, right? They look like they're not sure about what's going on. And honestly, these pitchers, as a pitcher myself, which I love for them, some of these pitchers, man, they're owning some of these batters. They are working the count. They're getting exactly what they want, and they've got these batters on their toes. So, batters, all right, for you, here are just three thoughts, all right, of how to own the box better. If you need to put all of them together, pick and choose 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, whatever you want to do, but pick one of them at least and begin to work on it, man, and add it to your game for your next practice, your next at bats, whatever you've got coming up. Okay, and number one is really your presence. All right, this is before the pitch. Okay, before we get going, first of all, that starts on deck. Okay, your presence for that next at bat begins while you're on deck because, first of all, you need to be able to analyze the situation, right? What's going on? What's my role? What are we doing? Okay, we're not going up there hoping for something to happen. We're going up there with a very specific expectation of what we're going to do, what we're there to do, and how we're going to attack this pitcher. And that's huge for us, right? Because if we're able to have kind of a routine a little bit, that's going to give us confidence, right? The way that you look, the way that you present yourself, okay, matters because pitchers can read energy, right? They're human, all right, but they're also looking at you, right? And they're also trying to figure you out. And so whatever you are projecting, they are likely to receive, right? And depending on the mentality of that pitcher, man, he or she, they're going to be able to sniff out somebody who is stepping in that box unsure, afraid, nervous, just, not locked in, right? So you got to be able to dial it in, start that process in the hole if you need to, right? Before you even get on deck, right? Mentally lock in and be able to own the box the way that you want to own the box, man. Because at the end of the day, if you look unsure, to me, you've already kind of lost the at bat at that point. So put yourself in a position to succeed. All right. So number two here, though, is navigating the count. Okay. Let's think about that from a couple of different scenarios. All right. Let's go with the 0-0 count, for example. All right. 0-0 count. What are we doing, everybody? We are hunting for our pitch. Say it with me. Hunt for our pitch. Please don't do anything else other than hunt for your pitch. I didn't say hunt for everything under the sun, right? We're hunting for exactly what we want, the pitch we want, and the location we want. 0-0 count, that is the focal point right there. All right. If it ain't there, no big deal. We're good. We'll take an 0-1 setup. 1-0 is great too. Doesn't matter. Okay, but if it ain't ours, we're cool not getting it. And what we're doing right here, guys, is that we're being aggressive. All right, we're being aggressive but not reckless. And I think there's a difference in what that looks like for us when we're truly stepping in that box to own it. Right? If we don't want to put ourselves behind the eight ball, then make sure that we are absolutely sure about that 0 pitch, because here's the thing, we are trying to do damage right there. All right. We are absolutely trying to demolish the baseball. We're trying to demolish the softball. And if we can do that at a high clip early in the count, when we know that pitcher is just simply trying to, typically, they're trying to get ahead early in the count, right? You're going to see their best stuff, right? Early in the count, usually. And it's going to be a beautiful pitch 8 times out of 10, depending on the level that you're playing at. All right. So 0 count, be aggressive, hunt for yours only, not everything. All right. Next one I would like to talk about is maybe the 0-1, 1-2 count. Okay. 0-1, 1-2. What we're going to do here is we're going to expand that zone just a little bit, especially 1-2. All right. We're going to expand the zone just a touch. Okay. A hair off the plate. That way we can protect. Because in this scenario, especially with we'll talk about specifically about the 1-2 count at least. Especially with 2 strikes, though, we want to be able to spit on the ball. What I mean by that, just foul it off. If you don't like it, foul it off. No big deal. We'll get another one. Because a lot of times, what pitchers are doing in this scenario, in the baseball world, you might see that split finger action. You might see that slide piece, right? In the softball world, you might see a curveball coming in there. You may see a screwball, maybe an off-speed drop ball, right? Something to throw off your timing, something to maybe to produce some weak contact from you, right? And so for a batter, fine, no big deal, just foul it off. And if it looks like it's gonna be close, if it feels like the umpire behind us has been, calling that pitch right there all night or all day, foul it off until we get what we want and we can get a hold of something. Because your job right now is to outlast, not necessarily outpower. Okay, and if we can put ourselves in that mindset of, let me just compete right now. I don't have to crush the ball. Let me compete until I get what I need, right? And then you bust it open and you rip the cover off the ball, right? That's a victory in that regard. Okay, ahead in the count. Final one. All right, it's 2-0. It's 3-1. Y'all, 2-0, 3-1. We are sitting dead red on your pitch and your pitch only. Honestly, it goes back to that 0-0 count mentality a little bit for some of us, because I know some of you, 0-0 count, it can be a slow pitch softball tumbling in there for a strike looking like a big watermelon, and you're still going to take it, right? I'm talking to you. Yeah, I know y'all are out there, right? However, most of us, though, 0-0 count, we're aggressive. We're hunting for something specific. Same thing, 2-0 in the 3-1 world here, right? We are looking for our pitch, because God forbid, right? They throw something in there that looks good, and then we freaking pop a ball up on the infield 3-1 count. Like, that is, that's tough to watch. That's tough to be a part of, right? 3-1, you're going to have to throw me what I want, because I don't mind running the count full. Run the count full. Whatever. We're good. All right. Show me what you got. Put it over the plate. And if you put it over the plate, line drive, baby, we're rocking. Right. Back to the back of the batting cage. Right. That's what we're looking for. 2-0, 3-1, though, guys. Something that we can drive, something that we can launch depending on the situation. Ultimately, that's your count, right? And we don't want to allow the pitcher to steal that back from us, right? So own that count, own the box on that front. Okay. The third and final thought I have for you guys on owning the box collectively is maintaining that mental edge, right? Your mentality, man, is everything. This kind of coincides with the your pre at bat focal point there that I mentioned in the first one. Okay, all of this really ties together, right? But you got to be thinking, all right, every single pitch is a new fight, right? Things change, so you have to be able to adjust depending on the count, like we just talked about. And so your adjustment, you need to know what your adjustment is. What is your go-to adjustment? What do you know about this pitcher? What is their go-to adjustment, right? Stay mentally ahead of the game, and so that you know you're not one step behind. Okay. Also, though, for you specifically, regardless of what the pitcher's got going on, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent of what just happened in the previous pitch or even in the previous at bat, have a short memory. Okay? Like, don't allow it to get to you to the point to where you are unable to reset or refocus for what's to come down the line, right? So be able to maintain that mental edge, man, and know right now for you at this point in your career. Okay, most of you are middle schoolers, your high schoolers, your college athletes. We got coaches, obviously, people like myself, still playing some adult league baseball, maybe some slow pitch softballers out there. Wherever you are in your career at this point, know one thing for sure. Okay, when you step in that box, you have a plethora, okay, a large amount. For those who don't know my dictionary or thesaurus word there, plethora, right? A very large amount of at bats in the batting cage over the course of your career at this point. Okay, middle schoolers, not so much, but high schoolers, absolutely you should. College players, definitely. Old people, yes. Okay, so my point is because you have a large amount of experience of taking hacks at a baseball or taking hacks at a softball, use that to your advantage when every time you step up to the plate. Like you know what to expect, right? You know what's coming and feel good about it. Feel good about your abilities to hit what's coming. So, anyway, those are my 3 points of emphasis for today, guys, in terms of owning the box. All right, if you will work hard pre at bat, if you will work hard on owning the count and navigating that, and then keeping your mental edge, I think those are really 3 big factors that can truly improve your game and help you have more responsible at bats. So, anyway, guys, we're going to take one final break. And then right on the other side of this, I'm going to give you guys my thought you should know moment for the day. And then we're going to wrap this show up. Be right back. All right, guys, welcome back for the final time to the show, episode 75. Man, it has been an incredible one here. If you have lasted to this point of the show, I have a treat for you. As I promised you guys who have just graciously poured into some of my partners and just being able to just help people around the world, around the United States in different ways with your finances, I've got a gift for you. And so my gift is some swag coming through big time with that. So I've got a swag box that I'm creating, and over the course of the next 30 to 45 days, I'm going to be sending that out. So all I need from you is your name and your mailing address where you want me to send that to. Doesn't cost you anything at all. It's just a gift to you for just taking your finances and your time and your energy and your prayers and your resources to simply just say thank you. So I'm so grateful for all of you on that front. Now, let me get to my thought you should know moment. And I wrote I wrote what I wanted to say down because I didn't want to miss a point with you guys. And this is a little bit more on the serious note because I just think there's times in life where you have to have a cause to pause, right? And there's certain things that may be going on in your inner circle or going on in an exterior sense or globally even that you have to go, okay, where do I fit in all of this? What is my role in this situation, right? And so for you, I hope that what I say over the next minute and a half or so will resonate with you, and then you will go take action because that is something that I feel that a lot of us are called to do is to simply take action and be the change we want to see. Okay. So I'm going to read my thought you should know moment to you guys. And for today, okay, my thought you should know moment. Listen, you don't need permission to do what's right. All right. God already placed something inside you, what I like to call a built-in detector, right? That knows when something isn't right. That feeling, that tug, that hesitation in your spirit, that's not confusion. That's clarity. And for us, too often we ignore it. We wait, we sit back, we watch, right? But doing nothing is still a choice. So when the moment shows up, when you feel that pull to step in, to speak up, to stand firm, right? Don't flinch. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for approval. Just freaking go, right? Go get it done. Go do it, because doing what's right was never meant to be comfortable. It was simply meant to be done. And at the end of the day, guys, that's what I want for myself. I want for you. I want for all of us, right? Is to choose the right path, right? And then just to simply go get it done. And that is my very just stern thought you should know moment for you guys today. Whatever scenario you need to apply that to in your life right now, again, whether it's small, big, medium size, doesn't matter, right? Choose the right thing to do, and then don't wait. Just simply go get it done. All right. So listen, guys, thank you as always for tuning in. Send me your names, send me your addresses. We got swag coming your way. Love offering. Man, I'm so grateful. So anyway, love you guys. We're gonna wrap this show up like we always do. So please let every single thing you do be done in love, because at the end of the day, that is really what makes this world go round. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch you next time.